Good morning, everyone. This is Amma Thanasanti, and I'm speaking from my little Encinitas sanctuary. And I got up this morning at 4 o'clock to join my neighbors. We went up onto the roof to watch the rocket launch, and we could see it passing right in front of us. And then it didn't take long for it to pass. And then I got up and I went down to the beach and I meditated this morning and I watched the sunrise. And feeling full of the joy of watching the sunrise at the beach and watching the seagulls play on the waves and watching an egret come in and land and just feeling filled up with a heart that's full of gratitude for the magnificence of this world and the ability to share it with each other. So when I was watching the seagulls, it was obvious to me that they were playing. They were flying as close as they possibly could to the top of the waves, to the edge of the ocean. And it was just simply for the joy and the pleasure of doing that. And I watched them and I realized that as human beings, many of us have forgotten how to play. And when we open our heart to the beauty of the world, when we notice the gorgeousness of riding the waves just before the sun rises, there's this joy that fills up and there's this fullness of gratitude that comes. So I'm here because I'm on a healing journey. And every day I wake up and I think, oh my goodness, what a blessing it is that I can see and I can walk and I can eat food and taste it, and that I have the ability to focus and to think, and I can have conversations with people. And so these simple things in life, the colors of a flower, the closeness of a dad carrying his baby in a pouch on his tummy, the beauty of a dog that stops and gathers some cuddles, the joy of listening to a musician on the bench at the beach. We are often in a rush and we miss the opportunity. And right now, when I'm in this healing journey, it is more important than ever to be filled with gratitude, to notice gratitude, to pause every time my heart opens to the gratitude that I feel for being able to feel the blessings and the friends and receive the support and have the goodness that I have in my life. So it isn't as if gratitude is some kind of a magic thing that it needs to be created. It's just that we can get so preoccupied, we forget to see the beauty and the blessings that are all around us wherever we look. And so just to notice that, to feel the incredulity of that, of to stop and notice the hummingbird when it comes and it buzzes the flower, to notice the dove when it's sitting on the telephone line, to notice the health of the kale plants and they're growing in the beds, to notice the generosity of somebody's gesture of caring and sharing, to not take for granted what it is to be able to walk or to see or to hear, to allow the pleasure of the sound of the waves to crash over and to fill one, to take a moment and notice when we turn on the light, what a miracle it is that there's electricity. When we turn on the water, to just pause and realize we didn't have to walk a mile to go get it. This morning, I went to go take a shower and there was no hot water. And I thought, well, that's wonderful. I can heat up the water in a pot on the stove and I can make a bucket bath. And it just, for a moment, it just allows me to feel the blessing of what it is just to be able to turn on the hot water and have the hot water come through the tap. It's not, we don't often get to see the opportunity until there's an absence. So even the absences are an opportunity for gratitude. They can help us focus on the things that we have. So I'm in a remarkable situation, and that it is supported entirely by people's care and their kindness and their generosity and their goodness. I thought that was something that was unique as a monastic. But one of the values of being on a healing journey, where all kinds of things are in a learning curve, is that I'm once again very dependent on the kindness and the generosity of others. So when I get into my car, I feel the miracle of having wheels and being able to do something, to have agency to go where I want. The other evening, I went to a West African dance. I haven't been dancing like that in over 30 years. And to hear the drums and to see the smiles and to see the children that were present and the incredible dance and the community that gathered to enjoy this wonderful, rich opportunity together. It's awesome, just beautiful. So how we spend our day and what we focus on really determines what we experience. And in every moment we have a choice. We can choose to focus on things that are dark and difficult and scary and frightening. And it isn't as if doing that is entirely negative. Part of our meditation practice is about opening up to what is. But I know in my own practice, I can also emphasize the challenges and miss the blessings. And so when we learn to open up to the gratitude in our life, when we feel the blessings of our friends, when we dial into the gifts that I have and the way that they've come from the many people who've offered them, when I recognize that my healing is entirely dependent on the care and the kindness and the friendship and the generosity of others, then every mouthful is different. Every breath is different. Every footstep on the earth is different. It's imbued with a quality of tenderness, of heartfulness, of connection. It puts me in the middle of a web of life when I relate to everything through the connections of how it has come, through the goodness that it's been given, through the friendship that has offered it, through the miraculousness of being able to feel and experience it. So I want to close this little sharing with a song that my sister, Ayada Madeira, wrote. She took the Pali chant, the blessing chant, and turned it into a song. And I love singing the song before I eat my meal, just as a moment to pause and to just drop in and to reflect of the blessings and the gratitude that I have. So let me see if I can remember it. See if my brain cooperates. I'm thankful for this gift of love. I'm thankful for this roof above. I'm thankful for food and medicine. I'm thankful for my good friends, gifts of the earth. Many hands work, may everyone be at ease. So my heart's full, and I just want to share that next Sunday at 9 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, there's going to be an online Dharma call, and the theme will be on gratitude. And so if you'd like to join in and talk more about the practice of cultivating gratitude and the ability to share gratitude, join us for that. And I want to close with one story. When I was living in the Wat Buddha in the bush of Australia, I was in an overhang, I was in a cave. And I was there not because I was on some kind of a renunciant trip. I was there because it was my middle-class value of comfort. It was 120 in my little kuti, and it never got hotter than 89 in that cave. And so I moved in it because it was the upper middle way to survive the heat. But the heat was interminable. It was incredible. And so there was this tiny little indentation in one of the rocks that was on the edge of the cave. And I put some water in it. And this little bird came and she found the water. And she had a bath. And she looked at me right in the eye. And she let out this trill, this incredible, remarkable sound. And then she had a bath, and then she did that sound again. And looking in her eyes as she was ecstatic to have a little bath in the middle of the heat and to feel that connection, that aliveness, that gratitude being expressed from this wild little creature was remarkable. So our gratitude is also our joy. And so I share that with you today. Bye for now. And thank you all who are joining. May your day be filled with opportunities to focus on gratitude.